Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Fikri Maulana, an English literature student of Winsuran Gunung Jati Bandung from class 4C with student identification number 1245030113. And in this video, I'm going to present my analysis of translation strategies used in two different types of text. There's an informative text and also an expressive text that I've already analyzed. And for the informative text one, I take it from one article from compass.com, and for the expressive text, I take it from one poetry from Khairil Anwar. So here I'm going to present about the languages, the different language used in two different type of text that I've already analyzed. So for the first one, guys, you have to know that informative text and expressive text is actually two different texts. And yeah, through these presentations we can see that translation is not only about changing word from one language to another language, but also about transferring meaning and also emotions and informations. So yeah, I'm going to show you here. I'm looking at the my analysis, the text analysis. So here for the informative text one, I'm going to show you about the language used, the technique used in informative text. So for the first one, there's a borrowing. Yeah, what is borrowing? Borrowing is a translation technique where a word or a term from the source language is being kept into the another language, into the target language. Yeah, something like that. Because this technique is actually widely used because the word or the term of that word is already recognized, is already original word, and it shouldn't be translated, and we have to keep the original to help maintain accuracy and avoid confusions. For example, in my analysis, there's word pertamax, something like that, and pertamax cannot be changed into another word or another translation word because it's already recognized by word pertamax. And also there's, for example, like ESDM. Yeah, if we change that word, it could be, like change the meaning itself. Yeah, that's the borrowing that's used in informative text. For the second one, there's literal translations. What is literal translation? Literal translations is, that translating a text word for word or closely following the original structure when the meaning can still be understood naturally. Yeah, since the informative text focus on factual information and opinion, so literal translations help preserve the original message accurately. Yeah, for the example, like economic information and factual statement are translated directly without changing their meaning. Yeah, something like that. In my translation, there's like harga pertamax menjadi Rp rupiah 16.250 per liter, and we just have to straightforward the statement like pertamax rises to Rp 16.250 per liter. Yeah, something like that. That's for the literal translations. The next one, there's transposition. What is transposition? Transposition is a technique that changes the grammatical structure of a sentence while keeping the same meaning. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, Indonesian and English. You have to know that Indonesian and English language have different grammatical patterns. Therefore, some structures perhaps change, perhaps need to be changed, need to be adjusted according to the sounds natural in English. Yeah, in my analysis, there's harga pertamax yang kini ditetapkan sebesar 16.250 per liter, and we have to make it more natural in English. So that's why the pattern or the grammatical in English should be different with Indonesian language. So it becomes the current price of Pertamax set at rupiah 16.250 per liter. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's called transpositions, change in the grammatical structure. Something like that. So the next one, there's modulation. What is modulation? Modulation is the change of translations, whereas modulations like change the way an idea is expressed without changing its meaning. So this technique make the translation sound more natural and also easier for English reader to understand. Yeah, for example, in my analysis, there's like masih jauh di bawah harga keekonomiannya. So some expressions were translated by changing the perspective while preserving meaning. Something like, for example, in my analysis, there's remains significantly below its economic value. So actually, the expression change the word, change the perspective, but it still preserve the meaning. And for the next one, I'm going to present about the expressive text, and this text I take from one poetry from Khairil Anwar entitled Sajak Putih. Yeah, Sajak Putih. So now I'm going to tell you about the language used, the translation technique used in translating that poetry. So for the first one, of course, and also in poetry there's a literal translation. As I told you before, that literal translation transfer words or image directly into the target language, but it still preserve the original meaning. Yeah, for we can see that in the word in the word or in the poetry, there's mawar dan melati or mata, and it is still preserving the word from the original language, that's becoming roses and jasmine, and mata becoming eyes. Yeah, it maintains cultural and symbolic of the text. Yeah, for the second one, there's modulation. What is modulation? Modulation is actually the change the perspective or word of an expression while keeping the same emotional meaning. Yeah, poetry often contains figurative language that cannot always be translated directly, because modulation help preserve the emotional effect. Yeah, we can translate some poetry into the target language, but sometimes there's a different meaning, there's a different emotion if we do not analyze well about the technique used in that poetry, something like that. Yeah, so for the modulation, here's the example, like mati datang tak membelah. Yeah, meaning is like shift slightly to preserve natural English poetic, so it becomes even death arrives but doesn't divide. Yeah, it's actually the structure change, but the existential meaning remains preserving, something like that. Yeah, so for the third one, there's transposition. Transpositions actually change the grammatical structure of a sentence. Yeah, this technique helps the poem sound natural and also without losing its original meaning. Yeah, for example, in my analysis, there's wait. Nah, like harum rambutmu mengalun bergelut senda. So the grammatical structure is actually changing from Indonesia to English language, and it becomes the fragrance of your hair flows entangled and playful together. So a noun having Indonesian poetic prose become a verb-driven English structure. Yeah, and the next one, there's amplification. What is amplification? Amplifications add information or details that implied in the source text. For example, like kolam jiwa. It becomes so quite point. Like some ideas are expanded for clarity, for like giving the meaning of itself from the vibes, from the environment, from the emotion of the poetry. Something like that. And also there's hidup dari hidupku, life burn from my very life. Yeah, if we translate it into into the target language directly, it would become different. It would become it would got different emotion, different vibes from the original text, something like that. So guys, maybe that's all for my explanations, from my presentations about the language used in translating to different types of text, informative text and oppressive text. So sorry if you found a lot of mistakes in my video, because I'm still learning, I'm in still progress, and that's all that I've already analyzed. And thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.